YouTube, new circular has been added into Master Duel. It is top tier. Mathmech is going to be top tier, if not the best deck in Master Duel. This one card combo is going to send a card from the opponent's hand, back row, and their monster. Omni Negate, 3 to 4 material, Apollo USA mate, plus 10,000 damage follow-up. I'm going to show you 3 ways to do the one card combo. Hajime.
There can only be one winner. And you're looking at it. Let's go.
Now to overview the 3 ways to do the one card combo on turn 1 is the first play that I'm going to show you is going to be the strongest play, best versus Nibiru, but stick around for the second and third because the second way is best versus Imperm, Veiler, and Ash. The third is best versus back row, but weak versus monster effects, so probably the best against Runic. One card combo, way number 1. This is the strongest play to do this combo, but it could be weaker to Imperm, Ash, or Veiler than the other ways I'll show you. Ignore the other cards in my hand, just circular. This is going to activate to send from the deck to the graveyard a Sigma. Sigma is going to be sent to the graveyard, special summoning the circular onto the fields. Now, we still have our normal summon, as you can see there. Now we want to trigger the circular by summoning another Mathmech. We're going to activate the Sigma, only activatable if we have no extra deck monster zones. Now this will trigger the circular. Circular will be searching for our super factorial to be used during the opponent's turn. We'll talk about that in a second. Now, what's important to know about Sigma, when it leaves the field right now is going to get banished. But if you exceed with it, that's kind of cheating. So instead of banishing, we're going to use it as an exceed material. And knowing that it banishes will be relevant for the third combo. You do need to know that. And now we have Alimbert. Alimbert on summon is going to detach to add a Mathmech card. So circular adds a spell and trap. The Alimbert searches for any Mathmech card. So it does not have to be a spell or trap. It could be anything. And what we're going to be searching for with our normal summon being available is Diameter. Diameter is nuts. On normal summon, not special summon, it will summon a monster from the graveyard, and it could summon any of these monsters. Now, if they have DD Crow, it's better that they DD Crow the circular to stop this play. So I'm going to summon the circular instead of the Sigma. Now, if you have an Imperm, an Ash, or a Veiler, when should you have used it? On the Alimbert. Searching for the Diameter, I think, is generally going to be the best time to negate. It could be risky because what if they already have a Diameter in the hand? If they already have a Diameter in the hand, it would have been better to summon it than to attempt to search a card with Alimbert first. Because if you make an Exceed with Diameter, you could play around hand traps. So if you're playing against a Fool and they summon this first with Diameter in the hand, then I guess you got outplayed accidentally. Now from here, we're going to make Link 1, double Link 1. So we're going to do Link Disciple, which is a level 4 or lower Cybers. And then the other Link 1 is going to be Devotee, which is going to simplify the game state to say that we can't summon anything bigger than Link 2 or higher. Now we're going to use the Alimbert to tribute the Devotee to summon a Mathmech from the hand or graveyard. It does not matter what you summon, but for the case of DD Crow, you could summon Circular. And that will trigger the Devotee to summon double token. Now, it's important to note this deck, the restriction of Masquerena is you have to have non-Link monsters to make the Masquerena. So right now, we're going to be making a Wicked, which is just 2 Cybers monsters. It can be anything on the field. I like using the Exceed because I want to banish the Exceed from the graveyard. So I'm going to use the Link Disciple and the Alimbert. Come forth into Wicked. Now we want to trigger the Wicked, but I think a good play here is to summon the Lingaribo. Let's say they did not use Impermanence yet, or maybe they're going to have Imperm on their turn. I like to make Lingaribo. So Lingaribo, come forth and summon. This will trigger the Wicked to then banish. I like banishing the Exceed because the Link monsters you could use for Access Code Talker, and the other monsters will be used with the Super Factorial. Get banishing. And now this will be Diameter for next turn. This is 10,000 damage plus wipe the field next turn. Now we're not done. We've only just begun. We're now going to Masquerena. 1 and 2. Come forth over here. And then set Super Factorial and you have your play, and I'm going to show you what to do on your opponent's turn. So we have Diameter follow-up, we have Super Factorial, we're going to pretend like we don't have these other cards in our hand, and let me show you on the screen what we accomplished. We accomplished, right now, on the opponent's turn, we could send one card from their hand, back row, and their monster, non-targeting. We have Omni Negates. We have a 3/4 material Apollo USA that can't be destroyed by card effect, or you can make a Unicorn, Avermax, Heat Soul, Goddess. Plus, we have the Diameter follow-up. So let's do it. Now, let's say they top deck into an Impermanence. We got Lingaribo that could be negating it. Dispel's going to check the back row to see if it is a spell. It is not a spell. He's got a monster. That is fine. Now, what we could do here is, because he doesn't have a back row and he's not committing to any more plays, they will generally try to bait your Masquerena, which is only usable during the main phase. So you could Masquerena right now. Get Masquerena in. Shokan into Apollo USA or Unicorn. So Apollo USA could be good right here. We're going to use you as 2 materials, 1 material, 1 material. Indestructible by card effect and bigger than their monster that was trying to bait our Masquerena. We now have triple monster negate. Now he's got a back row. So now we get the most use out of our Super Factorial, which we could use whenever we want. Targeting 3 of our monsters in the graveyard, then we're going to exceed. 1, 2, 3. You guys select them 1 by 1. 1, 2, and 3. Come forth and Shokan. Now, the monster we summon is going to have Omni Negate. Negate anything. Anything they have, we will negate. This is going to be the triple level 4 that we are summoning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shokan into Laplation. Now, why do we have Omni Negates? Because Diameter. Diameter states that the Exceed monster that we summoned using this will have only the turn it's summoned negate anything. So now we're going to activate Laplation, and we're going to do all 3 non-targeting. Random card from the hand. The field monster. The field back row. This was all from one card. 1 circular. And this Diameter is from the 1 circular. So we could then Diameter, activate, come forth, and Shokan. Now, it's important to note that your monster of Update Jammer requires 2 level 2 or higher Cyberse monsters. So I'm just quickly showing you that real quick. You just Update Jammer, get updated. And if you have Update Jammer plus another monster on the field, you have 10,000 damage. You could then Transcode Talker. 1, 2. Thank you very much. And then resummon the Update Jammer. And then you're going to make an Access Code Talker that's going to be huge. You can activate this if you want to. That's fine. Resummon the Update Jammer. So I'm just showing you the general follow-up of what you'd want to be doing, of what you're getting with this play. Update Jammer is going to be used as 1. Transcode's going to be used as 3. Edge Shokan into Access Code Talker. You want to put the Update Jammer on Chain Link 1. Access Code Talker on the next Chain Link, targeting the Transcode Talker. And that's 5,300, double attack, and wipe the entire field. How many cards do we have wiping? We could wipe 1 card, 2 card, 3 card, 4 card, 5 cards, 4 to 5, 4 cards on the field. Wipe 4 cards, 10,000 damage, double attack, GG, no re. And ideally, you would want to, if you have another monster, if you're willing to use up the Apollo USA, you could have the Transcode Talker be pointing to the Access Code Talker, making it untargetable during this 10,000 damage. And that's from 1 combo. Now stay tuned for the second and third way to do this. Here is way number 2. It's best versus Imperm, Veil, or Ash. You lose the follow-up, and it's also the best play if you open up your Super Factorial. Let's hop right into it. Circular is going to be sending a Sigma from the deck to the graveyard to come forth and summon. And then we're going to be triggering the Circular with the Sigma being summoned. Now, Circular is going to activate to search for Equation. I already have it in my hand, but we're activating it and we're searching Equation. It's important to do so, and I'll tell you why. So now we're going to make our Link Disciple instead of our rank 4 Exceed right away, because we're playing around hand traps differently. And this is where we could make the Link Devotee, but the Sigma will get banished. And with the Sigma being banished, we're not going to have 3 monsters in the grave to then summon the Laplacian to then discard a card from the opponent's hand. So we want to use the equation. We want to exceed with Sigma. We do not want to link with it. Come forth and summon the circular back on the field. And then we're making Link Devotee. Now in this combo, we're not using the Exceed to tribute the Link Devotee. We're using the Link Disciple instead. Link Disciple is going to tribute to draw a card, then return a card back in the deck. So we do get a draw in this combo. That's pretty cool. And then we're going to Link Devotee, come forth, and token. Now, we are going to be searching for Diameter with Wicked. Come forth, Wicked. Again, do not use the Sigma because it will be banished. This is where, if you're playing against someone inexperienced, they're going to have impermanence and probably not use it. And then you're going to summon Lingaribo, which could negate the impermanence. No imperm for you. That will trigger the Wicked to then banish from the graveyard to search for our Diameter that we're going to normal summon. We have not used up our normal summon. Pretend like we don't have the one in our hand already. Diameter, come forth and summon. Activate, Shokan onto Circular. And you're thinking, oh, Dkayed, what if they wait with their hand trap for the Exceed? Good. Wait, wait this long. If you wait this long, you lose, because now I have Diameter under the Exceed. Now I have negate impermanence and negate a hand trap. I got double negate. So we're gonna add a Mathmech card, detach 2, and come to me, my Super Factorial. Now, I like to have Lingaribo on the field for impermanence during their turn, but right now this has an active negate. So if you were to tribute off your Exceed instead to keep Lingaribo on the field, you could then get Nibiru'd, or they could then activate a hand trap that they were holding on to. So it's probably safer to leave the Exceed on the field since it is being influenced by the Diameter. To make Masquerena, we can't make it with a Link, so we're going to summon from the graveyard. We could summon a Sigma, which will no longer be banished. And then this is going to be Masquerena, and then just like the turn 1 play, we don't have the follow-up Diameter because we did not search it. But we have everything that we had from the turn 1 play, and you saw the follow-up of what to do, but it played around hand traps a little bit better. So I think this play will be better to take advantage of a less experienced player, or just in general, if they have Imperm, Asher, Veiler, this is a little bit better. Way number 3, this is best versus back row, the weakest against hand traps, and it's also weak against monster effects. You also don't get a follow-up. It really neuters the potential of this 1-card combo, but we're in a Runic meta, so this might become your main way to do this combo only because of Runic, and you have no way to know if your opponent's playing Runic, so it's a gamble. Will this be the best way to do it because Runic's everywhere? We'll see. Let's hop into this combo. 1-card combo, which will be best against back row, but it's the weakest version of the combo. But if you lose the back row, then what are you doing? We're going to be sending a Sigma from the deck to the graveyard. Circular, come forth. And then we're going to use Sigma in the graveyard to summon to trigger the Circular. The Circular is going to be activating to grab our Super Factorial. Come to me. Now, it's important to understand how the decks work. And we got 3 main searches. Circular searches for the Spell and Trap. The Wicked searches for a Tuner. And the Exceed searches for any Mathmech cards. So we essentially have 3 searches. We used 1 on the Super Factorial. The second search is going to be a trap that deals with back row or monsters. So now let's link this up into Link Disciple, into Devotee. Also got a draw, so that's going to be pretty cool. Get Devotee in. This is a big problem now. The Sigma gets banished because we didn't Exceed with it. That's a problem. Because to use the Super Factorial, we need 3 monsters in the graveyard to make the most use out of it. So we're going to find a way to get a 3rd monster. We're going to tribute the Link Devotee to draw 1, return a card back in the deck. That's going to trigger the Devotee to summon double token. And this is normally where you would be searching for your Diameter, but I'm going to tell you why you do not do that. So we're going to make the Wicked. And we're pretend like we have nothing else. We have Toggle Off. We're going to now Lingaribo, which will trigger the Wicked. This, in the other combo, we would search for Diameter. But think about it. If we search Diameter, how am I getting a third monster in the graveyard with Diameter? We can't. We have Circular and Diameter. That's just 2. So we're going to search for Nabla. Nabla's needed to get a third monster. Nabla's going to take up the normal summon that would have been our Diameter. Nabla's going to tribute the Lingaribo to come forth and summon from the deck our Diameter. Diameter is here. Now we're going to Shokan into the Alimbert. Alimbert's going to search for the card that helps us against back row. Add a Mathmech card. We also have a negate right now, so if they've been holding on to their hand traps, they screwed up. We now can negate, and we're going to grab the Induction. Now, it's important to note the Super Factorial also could deal with back row, but now you got 2 cards that deal with back row. You got Induction, you got Super Factorial. The Induction is going to send itself to the graveyard to target a card the opponent controls, destroy it. This will be ideal against Floodgates and back row and Field Spell and all that nonsense. So we got Induction, and we got Super Factorial, and we got 3 monsters in the graveyard. Very good. Now, you could end here. You could. Or, remember, Induction requires you to have a Mathmech on the field. You could use the Alimbert to tribute the Wicked to summon a monster from the graveyard, which will summon a Circular. And then I'm going to make a Masquerena. Now, if you're thinking Splash Mage into Heat Soul, we can't make Link 3s if you're playing Heat Soul. Now, if you do this, your Induction does not work. Your Induction is dead. But let's make it not dead. I'm not saying you should do this, but this is an option. We could have just ended the turn. We could have. And by doing this, we turned off our ability to stop hand traps if they were going to maybe Nibiru or Masquerena, which would have been weird. So let's see. So Masquerena is pretty much useless right now. They're going to summon, and they're going to attempt to enter the battle phase. Whoa, Dragon Treasure, holy shoot. And then, yep, attempt to enter the battle phase. We're now going to Super Fact. If I flip up the Induction, I can't use Induction. Induction, no good. But it does give her a little boost. But to use the Induction, I could Super Factorial. And this will make the Laplation. Sorry for this video being very long, but, you know, I could do a YouTube garbage clickbait video and show you only one combo, which, you know, I'm sure you'll find that somewhere. But, you know, we want to give you the whole picture of what's good. I'm going to detach all 3. We have an Omni Negate, 1 from the hand, 1 from the fields, and the back row is no longer there. And now we could, if they were to set another back row, which they're ending the turn, I could then Unicorn. I could also Induction. Induction's only usable while we have this face up. But just to show you, because I do think the computer's ending their turn. Now, the Induction's not usable, but, you know, if you're playing against Runic, they're going to have at least 2 more back row. So this will spin 1 back row, and the Induction will spin the other back row. And there, you'll pop another back. So there you go. Oh, wow, he baited me. He fake end the main phase, then set his card, which some people may do that. You do have to consider that also. That is a valuable play to actually do, getting outplayed by the computer. But that would have been deal with the back row and deal with another back row with the Unicorn. And now you know all 3 ways to deal with all the different decks in the ladder. This is good for having Omni Negate, send a back row, plus Monster, send another back row, and send another back row. That's nuts. Now, at the end of the video is going to be the deck list on how you could play the deck. These are going to be TCG YCS deck lists mixed with some Master Duel deck lists from top tier Mathmech players that did also do well with the deck in TCG. So this is a YCS deck list. As you can see, no Max C. So you can consider playing this. This is another TCG deck list because there's no Max C, but you could just add it in. And then here is a Master Duel deck list. Top 75 OCG, so they do play Max C. Ibli's kind of spicy, so I could, you know, show you like this, then zoom down a little bit. And then here is another version of the deck from PYD, which helped out with the guide. Very good, top tier player. So this is a good way to build the deck. And I think, here you go, I'll toss this in. Small World Bridges to your Circular. Banish any of these cards from your hand, then banish from the deck to grab your Circular. So that's pretty cool. And then also, we even have some decks ready on the website. Go to the new cards filter on the top decks page, Mathmech. I'll go through these very quickly. Hongen, you got a win streak in Diamond with this. Regrets, very good, got Diamond 1 with this. And Softkey, which is a Mathmech helper, top tier player, helping out with the pins and combos and plays. Very knowledgeable of the deck. And this is how Softkey's playing it. Quite interesting. Microcoder with the Cynic conflict. And there you go.